Okay, so this is going to be my review of the latest My Little Pony story arc, the comic books anyway, Siege of the Crystal Empire. Now, yes, this is, as you can see from the cover, yes, this is the return of King Sombra. And I gotta say, I liked it, but I did have some thoughts. Now, the big thing about this story arc is that, yes, if you've read the My Little Pony Villain Micro series, we do see the backstory of Sombra, and this kind of springboards off of that comic. In here, it follows further with what happened after the events of what happened to King Sombra, and I'm pretty sure we're never going to see him again, and I'll explain why in a bit. But yeah, what goes on in the first story arc is that this hooded character, who we have no idea who it is apparently bringing together all of the other villains. And when I say villains, I mean Queen Chrysalis and about Flim and Flam, Iron Will, and Lightning Dust. That's your villain. So they basically have a knockoff version of the Legion of Doom. It would have been so much better if we had Tyrek and so many others. But yeah, we got characters who Flim and Flam and Lightning Dust and Iron Will. What? They weren't really... Well, I could see... Well, they do kind of describe that Lightning Dust has been bitter ever since she got kicked out of the Wonderbolts. Flim and Flam I can kind of see. But Iron Will, he's they've said in the comics before, he's not really evil, he's just an asshole. So, yeah, I was kind of like, Iron Will, what the fuck you doing here? So yeah, they together with this hooded stranger, who turns out to be Sombra's old friend/love interest, Radiant Hope, she has brought them together to free Sombra from the Crystal Empire and resurrect him. Radiant Hope, while the ponies managed to get blitzkrieged at the Crystal Empire, Radiant Hope resurrects Sombra, and he begins his siege and unleash the Umbrum, which are the race of shadow ponies that once laid waste to the Crystal Empire thousands of years ago, and they basically created Sombra to be like the key to their rescue. That was his whole backstory. But yeah, in here we find the main six kind of take a back seat for a little bit, because this is mostly a story about Cadence and Radiant Hope, and for the most part Sombra. Radiant Hope does feel a lot of love for Sombra, and it's very much... At first I kind of hated that she's willing to, die for Sombra no matter what he does, and she's just at the final part of the story, she does kind of get sick of it and kind of draw the line, but the most part is that, yeah... The thing it kind of reminds me of is, it's very much like how much Luke, no matter what happened, Luke still cared for his father. He still, sensed the good in Vader and wanted to bring it out of him in Return of the Jedi. That's kind of what I feel like what happened with between Radiant Hope and Sombra, is that she, no matter what, she even pretty much gave up the chance to be a princess to be with Sombra. That's how much she loved him. So, at first I kind of hated it, but then I was like, no, Luke and Vader kind of had the same thing going for them, so I can see where that's going. And even then, she did draw a line in the sand and did make a Sombra go, oh, yeah. So let's talk about the other things in here. We do get a little more backstory with Queen Chrysalis, and what we discover is that Chrysalis she's old. Like, super old. And she basically, her hive once came upon the Umbrum when they more or less just wrecked the Crystal Empire thousands of years ago. And now there's this really great scene where Sombra and Chrysalis actually meet, and they're about to throw down hard. They are about to throw down hard, and Radiant Hope comes and breaks them up. You could see him powering up, and I was kind of like, yeah, I want to kind of see a fight. What I also love about this is that when, shit hits the fan, Chrysalis don't give a shit about anybody but her hive. When all the other villains are, Iron Will and Flim and Lightning Dust are like, what the hell are we gonna do? The main six are down, the princess has gone missing. Excuse me. Yeah, we have no idea what to do, so logically, they go to Chrysalis for help, but she's like, nah, bitch, I'm out. So we have that going for us. That's kind of the thing, is that the main six do play a part in here, but they don't play a major part. It's mostly Cadence, who finally gets a lot of good story arc telling to her. And what I like about this is that in the story of the Umbrum, they were very smart, and these guys are cruel. Like, super cruel. Like, they kept Radiant Hope alive thousands of years in their dimension, posing as friendly fairies, and they've kept her alive, basically, they more or less kept her alive for thousands of years, and more or less, like, even throughout most of the comic until, like, the third part, like, the end of the third part, you think for a while, maybe they were unjustly locked up, but no, it turns out, they even, the head of the Umbrums use Sombra as nothing more than a weapon to get them out of there. That is some stone cold shit right there. That's like Medusa from Soul Eater level evil. Man. But yeah. Now, here's the part of the comic that made me go... I liked it, but at the same time I was kind of hating on it. It turns out, and it was spoiled by one of the alternate covers. When I was at the comic book shop reading this issue when it came out, I was reading it, and I saw the alternate cover, like, at the corner of my eye. And I saw that it was Radiant Hope and normal Sombra together, and they're locking horns very much like Cadence's Shining Armor. And I literally said out loud, damn it! And, yeah, Sombra does get redeemed. He's no longer an Umbrum, he's now a regular pony. He's lost all of his shadow powers, and now he's traveling the world with Radiant Hope by his side as his lover. Now, one thing is that, yes, we have another redemption story. Seriously. I mean, I know the whole thing is that Radiant Hope could see the good in Sombra, no matter what he did, but come on, the dude nearly caused genocide on a global scale, on like a giant planetary scale. The Umbrum were pretty much like a plague. And... yeah, I'd have been like, dude, you gotta go. I'm sorry. It's the same thing with Starlight Glimmer, where it's like, I'd have gone the take her out role. But no, he's lost all of his powers. He's mortal now, and now he's just free. Like even the princesses are like, yeah, we're cool with it. Go on, rediscover yourself. I'd have been like, no, lock his ass up. This dude was a tyrant and a monster. I mean, yeah, that was his shadow powers, but he was working pretty much sane. He was very much in control of his powers. So, why the fuck you do that? Now, the other thing, I am very interested to see where you're going to go, because now it feels like Sombra's, because he's probably never going to be in the show again, but now that they're in the comics, I'm really curious to see Sombra's story arc, because, yeah, thousands of years, he caused a entire kingdom to be sent to a pocket dimension for thousands of years, and now they're back. I'm pretty sure the Crystal Empire's pretty still mad about that. I mean, even at the end of the comic, you kind of get the sense that Cadence was a little pissed off about it as well. But, yeah, Sombra's now traveling the world and everyone's okay with it, but I want to see a redemption story with it. I do want to see where he goes as a character, because it's not like with Starlight Glimmer where everyone's suddenly friends with him. No, the dude, enslaved an entire race and hid them from the world for 1,000 years in a pocket dimension. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some scars there. So he's probably still not very liked. It's not like with Trixie or, Nightmare Moon, with Luna. Trixie got the shit end of a stick, I'm sorry. But yeah, she got the shit end of a stick and she just got, she just wanted to get retribution. But Sombra, the dude was well in his mind to do what he did. So, the fact that he got a redemption story and not locked up kind of boggles my mind. It kind of almost kills the story, but on the other hand, I am curious to see where they're going to go with this. All in all, Siege of the Crystal Empire is probably one of the best story arcs out there. I still think the best story arc is the Nightmare Rarity story. I still think that's probably the best of the My Little Pony comics is the Nightmare Rarity story arc. But this is pretty high up there too. That ending just made me go, really? I mean, I know friendship is magic and all that, but come on, guys! Who's left? Really, Chrysalis is the only main villain left. Tyrix locked up, and the other guys, you could see them getting redeemed. It seems like, yeah, Chrysalis is still out there. She's the only real villain left. Well, her and Tyrix, but Tyrix locked up. Also, what I love about this comic, real quick, is that when the ponies actually get free, they call upon all their friends and family. Like, the pies and the cakes come together. The Apple family gets together. Even Rarity's family joins the fight. And we even have Discord show up. I was like, bitch, why didn't you show up sooner? We could have used you. But no, Discord shows up real quick after Fluttershy calls him. Even Twilight's family reunites. So it's really cool that of all the... Because it makes sense. When you're at your lowest point, who are you going to turn to most of all? Your family. Your friends and family are the ones that are going to be locking horns with you and fighting alongside you in the ditch. So, yeah, it makes kind of sense when you think about it. All in all, pretty good story. The ending just made me go, I just hope you make this interesting, guys. Anyway, so you guys tell me, what did you all think of Siege of the Crystal Empire? If you've read it, do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.